Hello and welcome to Discover Joyous Love. This is episode 19 and I'm your host, Anita DeFrancesco. Our topic this week is how do we navigate the web of jealousy? And jealousy is a loaded topic, and when we think of jealousy, the first thing that comes to mind is our lover cheating on us and we become jealous. Jealousy is a very painful, but I'm here to tell you it's a growthful emotion. An emotion that is fueled by anger, sadness, and fear, and shame. And it is an emotion that we need to grow. It needs to be there. It's an emotion that helps you to want to become better. In life, we're not only jealous of our lovers, our significant others that may betray us in any way possible, but they may become better than us in life, in their career, or they may have more than us, or they may have come from a better family. Or how about being just jealous of your friends at school, the friends you work with, the people you associate with all day, people that are more successful than you, people that have better clothing or that grew up in a better section of the city, or people that have nicer cars and nicer things. So jealousy does exist and it is there, but we can accept jealousy. And one of the things in jealousy is that we can grow from it to make ourselves better. So Discover Joyous Love, Anita DeFrancesco, episode 19, how do we navigate the web of jealousy? And this show, I just wanted to show you two of my books, Live Free and the Diner Gentile Story, a true crime book, and the spiritual book about my life is the Blue Book. And you can find these on Amazon to get more information about who I am and what I do. So let's get on with the topic here. I have a lot for you, but it's kind of a conundrum of things because it's not my favorite topic. To say the least, I have been jealous many times in my life, especially in love, and especially if you're not getting enough attention, or if you are with a lover and you have an exclusive relationship with someone and they decide they want to push you aside for someone else. And what hurts really is the neglect and abandonment of. And that's where jealousy stems from, neglect and abandonment. And it stems from your family history. So I'll talk to you about a few things. And if we didn't come from such a solid foundation, chances are we maybe still have a slight survivorness about us, living on that survivor mode, which would allow us in life to become jealous. I mean, we are allowed to be jealous. It is not something wrong or ugly, or people think that you're crazy when you act jealous. It's a normal emotion like anger. People think you're crazy when you express anger. These are normal emotions that are part of growth. So let's go with the jealousy here. So jealousy can be about others' strengths. Now, for example, or riches or successes or their upbringing. A lot of time I find that people tend to be jealous. I don't know why people are jealous of me, but I'm not rich, I'm not famous, but right here on this show, I'm rich and famous on my show, but they are jealous of the strength that I have, that I'm able to plow through the tough times. And that is certainly a gift. And for me, it was a miracle to come into that strength as a child from what I was faced with, being sick with rheumatic fever in a hospital for a year, lying in bed. I had to go to summer school my entire life. I visited every public summer school in Philadelphia for every summer that I went to my grade school. And it was amazing how I became much more creative from just that sickness as a child. And and then having to come home to a family that was dysfunctional. So this is where you build your strength. You build your strength from your experiences. But I was able to cultivate strength at a very young age because I had to survive. I wanted to live. I was a little child. And there's much more. If you read my book, Live Free, you can find out more about how I navigated and transformed and became a passionate, creative human being that I am today. Recreating my life, that is. But getting back to people are jealous of my strength. They're jealous that I have strength to plow through. And that is a gift. That certainly is a gift. So think about that. Are people depleting your energy or hanging on you? Are they vampires in your life because you may have a stronger ego or a stronger strength about you or a little bit more courageous and confident, and they want to hang on to you and suck you, chew you up and spit you out? And a lot of people do that. It's a fixation. It's a cord. It's like a bond. And they rely on you. It's like the Cain and Abel kind of thing, where they are sucking you dry of your energy and you don't even realize it. And they are actually jealous, but they are in the shame and the hiding. And they won't apparently show you that they are jealous of you, but the fact is they are. And they find a way to steal you. Stealing your precious energy, giving your preciousness, your energy. So giving is not material. Over-giving from the heart, overextending yourself to friends and people zapping you of your energy. And they are doing this because they are jealous of that side of you. Now, others, you may be a rich person that came from financial richness, and people may be jealous of that and try to get money from you. So that's a different kind of thing. We have many different ways that jealousy lives. And why do we need this emotion? Again, for strength and growth and for awareness. Now, it's generally thought of in romance, like I said, but occurs with the siblings. Now, that's where it all begins, in the home life. Go back, and if you came from a family, you had siblings, and you saw how the younger one got more than the older one, or the younger one, the newborn, got more attention than the older one. And it's that cycle. And you're competing for parental attention all the time. And parents do this without realizing it, but they do. You know, there's always kind of the black sheep of the family, and somebody always gets dumped on, so to speak. Not always, but I've heard a lot of it in many families. In my family, we're one of four. I was the black sheep, but I think that I'm the one who got dumped on most, you know, and I was able to pick up the pieces and start over from the experience I had laying in a bed for a year, that I cultivated an awareness that gave me strength. And that's where the jealousy comes in, that people are jealous of me for, not for any money I have or anything, or any, you know, nice cars and things like that. But anyhow, so competing for that parental attention, go back and think, were you that child in your home that had to fight to get your parents to show you more attention? Co-workers, moving ahead on the job, that's a big one. You know, people become something that you want to become, or why did they get that job and you didn't? Why are they moving ahead? Again, let's breathe, let's come in, and let's take a look at who we are. We all have gifts. We are all unique. You can't go on being a vampire and zapping people of their energy. Jealousy is an abusive way to look at another person. It's it's an emotion of growth. That's all it is. The root causes could be abandonment, neglect as a child, insecurity. Now, if you are the type of person that gets jealous, you're not really stable inside. You have a lot of insecurities, spiritual insufficiencies, emotional losses, you know, where you left alone a lot, where you coming from a divorced family, where the kids in school not accepting you and you are on the outside rather than the inside. So there's many, 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 many reasons where this root cause of jealousy comes from. But look, we still will have it regardless if we come from the perfect frame of foundation growing up. We still are going to have the emotion of jealousy because it's growth. It teaches us how to become better, and we are. High neuroticism is also a root cause of jealousy. Feeling possessive of others and the fear of abandonment. So, first of all, feeling possessive toward others. You have a lover, and all of a sudden you want to control them. Jealousy is control. It's not love, folks. It is not love. And all of a sudden you want to possess them and everything they do and watch every move they make because you're afraid of being abandoned. So your issues are personal. Now, abandonment does exist, and it is something that we need to face. So, on that note, we're going to take a look at the body, and you have the sensory perception throughout your body that needs to be awakened so that you can allow these emotions to flow and allow them to live and nourish them, love them. We're all hardwired. Jealousy is hardwired in all of us. So it is hardwired in all of us. Yes, just like anger is, and sadness and happiness and love. But sometimes we have a little bit more of it than others, or it shows a little more, or we're not disciplined enough. We don't know how to be balanced with our emotions. It takes a lot of work, especially if you're an emotional type person to begin with, or are you limiting yourself and locking down your emotions, repressing them? It's a painful emotional experience. To say the least, it is the most painful when you're dealing with love. It is not as painful if you're jealous of your friends being more successful than you or having nicer toys than you, etc., etc. But it is the most painful when it comes to love. And what I'm asking you to do is not suppress that, but it's a wake-up call. When you are being faced with painful jealousy, we'll just go with the romance part since that's the most painful. It is a wake-up call. Let's not suppress this, but let's nourish it, look at it, grow from it. Now, men feel more jealousy about sexual infidelity with women, and women feel more jealousy about the heart love, the more feelings that a man has for her. But a man would be more jealous about if a woman was having sex, cheating on him with someone else, about the sexual part. Probably because men are all about performance. They can tend to feel inadequate, or am I not enough? And they always have those insecurities. I don't care who they are. They all have them. I know. Dealing with jealousy, folks, dealing with it, it can compel one to obsessively, So to obsessively monitor another's communication, their social networks. You start obsessing. You start, following them. You become a mild stalker, so to speak, and ruminating or behaving violently. Now, if it gets to that point where you ruminate and where you behave violently, or you stalk someone physically, emotionally, or cyber stalk them, then you need professional help. Mild stuff is normal. Everybody's checking out everybody's social media. Big deal. We're all doing that, folks, whether you're friendly with the people or not. It's just what social media is about. Learning what others are doing, checking out old high school friends or whatever. But the ruminating, the obsessive thoughts in the head are not good, and that needs work. And if there's any violence or any stalking, like phone calls or emails and texts, things of that nature, that would be that you're moving further away and your split is widening. So we want to bring that split back together. Now, acknowledge and admit. Please acknowledge and admit to the jealousy. Okay. Hey, I'm jealous. Even with your partner, communicate. I'm jealous that, I don't want to share you with someone. I'm jealous. And the partner could feel very, excited that they're excited that you're jealous, or they can feel like you're filling their ego, you're flattering them. And that's not why you express that you're jealous to your partner, to flatter them. You express that in a way to open up the doors of communication. I'm jealous. I don't want to share you with someone. Are we in an open relationship or an open marriage? And if so, we need to talk about it, because jealousy will be there. And there is such a thing as polyamory, where there is jealousy classes teaching people how they can navigate through meeting others and having others and still keeping that stable, exclusive, solid relationship that they have, but kind of move out from that from time to time, branch out from that. And it's okay, but it's got to be discussed and agreed on, folks. You just don't go pushing someone aside. The jealousy is in that, not in the fact of what you're doing, not in the fact what the cheater is doing. The jealousy is in the fact that they pushed you aside and they hurt you and they made you feel abandoned. Whether you have abandonment issues from your childhood or not, you could have come from the very perfect foundation. But it is that just temporarily starts to live in you, that all of a sudden you're feeling abandoned, neglected from this man that you've given all this beautiful love to, and all of a sudden he's pushing you aside. That's where the jealousy comes, not in the fact that he or she is out there cheating or whatever. That's not where it comes, folks. It's in the emotion of what you do and how you do it. So acknowledge and admit to the jealousy. Explore the undermining emotions, which help to develop the internal coping skills. So there's many, many coping skills that you can work with to help yourself. Now, dealing with reassuring your partner of your affection. So you love your partner. You don't want to mess up the relationship you have. You want to keep it secure, but you're not that smart, or you don't have enough courage to say, hey, I'd like to have an affair with someone. It's not going to go anywhere. The person is this, that, or the other, and I want to stay with you. But a lot of people don't have that courage to be honest and speak up. So the other person has to come in and sort of, help to open that door. That's why you're a couple. You're a team. So reassuring the partner, if you're the one that's going to go out and cheat, that you love them and you're going to be there for them. And whatever you're doing for the fling partner, you should be doing more for the exclusive, solid forever partner, the wife will say, or the husband. Working on your own confidence. At the same time, both of you working on that. Jealousy is not a sign of love. So let me tell you this right now. If you have a boyfriend and he's jealous and obsessive, and it's the beginning of the relationship, I suggest you get out of it. Because that is not a sign of love, jealousy. It is a sign of obsession and control. Jealousy does not equal love. Okay? Even if you're married for 20 years, I was just speaking to someone today, one of my counseling clients, and she's been married 18 years, and all of a sudden, he's pushing her aside so he can go out and be with young women. And all of a sudden she's feeling abandoned, neglected. And she's also a therapist too. But the thing is that the pain is in the action, not in the action of the emotional action, not the action of actually going out to be with someone, but in what you're doing. Let's get more civilized and present things and be honest and talk about it. Hey, I want to go out with someone else, but I don't want to lose you. Because it's okay. Maybe you might say it's having your cake and eat it too, and that's okay. Hey, having the cake and eat it. Why have the cake if you can't eat it, right? I always get my cake and eat it. But I love being honest. That's one thing I love about myself. A right to jealousy. Now, people think that you're crazy and you're crazy. You're jealous that he or she's cheating. You don't know what you're talking about. You're imagining things. It's a fantasy. What, did you dream that one up? Well, guess what, folks? You have a right to be jealous if you are in a solid, exclusive relationship. If you're just dating in the beginning, a lot of times people don't communicate and say what kind of relationship they want. You need to do that. Hey, what are we having? Just a casual kind of relationship, or are we having something that's going to lead to the future like marriage, or are we just going to have this like fling and work off our hotness for each other, and when that's done, we're on to the next. You need to kind of figure that out from the beginning, because it is so important to have the communication and really stabilize from the beginning what kind of relationship this is. Is it just that hot sexual, attraction? Or is it something that, hey, I think I could go further with this person. This might be the one. So if you are in something exclusive and then all of a sudden you have a right to be jealous, and there is nothing wrong with it. I'm going to tell you that right now. If he cheats or she cheats, you have a right to feel, and you also have a right to, these boots are made for walking, and to walk if the abuse is there. Now, if the abuse isn't there and the compassion and the sincerity is there, and that person is being sincerely honest, and maybe they can't directly, and you have to read between the lines, and they cannot directly come out and tell you, I met this girl and I want to be with her. I don't know if she's coming back, and I want to, and they're kind of telling you, I got to help her out because she's somebody I'm working with in my job or whatever. You can read between the lines, but it's up to you to have them open that web up. Okay. So that this pool of jealousy, this reservoir of jealousy does not become a pattern in your body. And if you have this right, okay, if you're in something that is solid and long-term, and people can get ugly when it comes to cheating, when it comes to other new sex, or especially younger sex, or just even not that, they just become ugly. Terrible, huh? And then in the end, nobody's the winner. Everybody, when one suffers, we all suffer. So, communication. Need I say any more about that? Not neglect or push her aside for some going on some 3-week affair. And that's what people do, men or women. They push you aside, and it's that they're abandoning you. And this means they have abandonment issues themselves. He betrayed your trust. So looking at the partner who causes the jealousy, right? Getting jealous over stupid things is stupid. Stupid. You're jealous because your girlfriend got a better position at the job? That's stupid. Or you're jealous because your friends have nicer cars than you? That's something to be jealous of. If you lived in LA for a while, and you're driving around in the sunshine, sure. But you know what? That's where you need to look at yourself and say, I can make myself better and grow and get those things. And I'm going to use that as an inspiration. And when your friends have better things and better jobs, use that as an inspiration to make yourself better. And then you will become better than them one day. And they will be jealous of you. Using the emotion of jealousy to grow, making yourself better. There you go. Okay. Had to write it and say it. Okay. See the good in life and accept your life and gifts. So that's where I want you to go, is to accept the life and gifts that you are given, because there is no jealousy that lives in the gifts and the life that you were given. Recognizing and learning from the jealousy. So that, we already know that. Overcoming jealousy in a relationship. Now, if a relationship is built on trust, respect, and love, or does your partner's behaviors reflect their own world? Is there honesty? Communication? These things are going by the wayside with texting these days. You need to start to open up and talk and stop texting for a date. Get on the phone and ask her for a date. Hey, I'm coming over tonight. Or, hey, he or she or whom or whatever. Hey, I'm coming, instead of texting. Okay? And the attachment control. Now, attachment is something that you need to look at when you get in a relationship. Some people have this attachment control where they want to attach. And it's one thing I've learned, not to attach, because I know that we live and die alone, because I have been transformed into my higher power. And we do live and die alone. And when you have that concept that is imprinted in yourselves, there is no attachment control to another human being, because you're all on your own anyway. Now, acknowledging the jealousy, naming it. When you acknowledge it, and when you name what it is that you're jealous of, I'm jealous that that person makes more money than me, or has better webcams than me, then it loses its power, and we no longer let it shame us. So it opens the door for learning. So what is it that you're jealous of? Let's make the list. Could be the relationship you're in. Maybe your partner is more successful than you, or has, came from a better family. I know people like that they're jealous of the partner because the partner has a better family, or they have, more successes. Not even about romance or anything. It's just other things that you can be jealous of, or maybe the way they're built, the bodily. We get jealous of people that have nicer shapes, that go to the gym. We're jealous of people that go to the gym, and we want to put the lid on them because we don't do it, and we're projecting our insecurities. People do that to me all the time. Oh, you still go to the gym? What do you mean still? I mean, still, that word, like, remove that word, delete it. I go to the gym. That's it, forever. And then people are jealous because they want to put the lid because they can't do it. Now, that is your moment to teach them, instead of to criticize them. So we no longer let it shame us. So that's what can happen. Jealousy can shame you. People who develop secure attachments in the early years between the self and the caregivers, meaning your parents, your grandparents, your teachers, if you've developed secure attachments, less jealousy and dependency, have a higher self-esteem and less feelings of inadequacy. So it depends on if you've developed secure attachments with your parents growing up. You had a good upbringing, a good foundation. Parents were together. There wasn't divorce. There wasn't a lot of arguing. It was a good childhood. It's never perfect. Then you would be the type that would have a higher self-esteem. You would feel not so inadequate about things, and you'd feel more secure. So when those moments do come where you're going to be faced with, being hurt or dumped, since that's the most painful one in a relationship of love, it might not feel as bad. So you want to go back and look at your childhood and start to work those areas. Were you alone a lot as a child? Were you coming from a divorced family and didn't get quite the balanced attention that is required for children? Or what was it that made you feel inadequate? Was it something in your body? Or it could be a medical thing going on. There's many things, but a lot of it has to do with the caregivers growing up, the parents. And then an emptiness forms, okay? And the caregiver role models, the relationships there, the home atmosphere. Was there arguing? No one was there for you when it was the right time? Did they celebrate your birthday? Did you get a cake on your birthday? Were you acknowledged? Repressive environment where the caregivers were unreliable. They may not have been around for you when you needed them. This would lead one to grow up with a pattern of insecurity and thus being faced with jealous relationships. Now, again, if you had this type of more solid foundation, you may not have as many relationships where you're going to burn out and get jealous, and you'll probably have healthier relationships. A lot of people get in and out of relationships, a lot of jealousy cycles, patterns. They break up, they're jealous, they hate each other, they spit on each other, they tear gifts up, whatever. I never did any of that, but I did say I felt the emotion of jealousy because I am a heart person and I believe in love. And there's nothing wrong with that. Jealousy doesn't mean care or love, but could mean control, folks. Accepting jealousy. Understanding the self and the partner causing it or whatever the situation. That's how you accept it. You have to understand and forgive. Love, compassion, vulnerability, knowing the truth and giving freedom. So love, compassion, vulnerability, knowing the truth and giving freedom. Relationships with jealousy cannot thrive. If there is any jealousy in the relationship, it will not thrive. You need to sit back, and start over and possibly seek out counseling if you want to stay with this person. Transparency needs to be there. Honest with your own feelings. Jealous of the successes is an inspiration to motivate you. And that is what I may leave you on today. Jealous of we have a little bit more. Jealous of someone's successes should be an inspiration. Determine the source of jealousy and master mindfulness. So when you are jealous, let's go back, sit back, and determine where is that source coming from. What is going on in your body? Scan your body. What is going on in and around your heart, in and around the environment you are existing in, the orbit that you are circulating through. This is what we want to do to become more mindful. And look at the thought patterns. What are your thought patterns? Are your thought patterns a consistent way of being jealous or angry or fearful? Or is there room for happiness in there? And love. Is there room for any of that? Just dropped my glasses. Well, in case there isn't any room for that, I'm going to invite you to inbox me, and I'm going to show you how to find love and happiness. Focus on your strengths, which will build you. Focusing on your strengths. So I'm going to leave you on that jealousy of the successes is an inspiration. Jealousy of anything, of anyone, of a lover, of someone's successes, of someone's lifestyle, of someone's chi energy, or physical body built. Jealousy is an inspiration. And if you can open up to that and use it and inspire and encourage and empower yourself to become better, I acknowledge you. Thank you for tuning in to Discover Joyous Love. Anita DeFrancesco here with you, episode 19, How Do We Navigate the Web of Jealousy? I can be found at tantrawisdom.com and the DonnaGentileStory.com, a true crime book. These books can be found on Amazon.com.